Good afternoon. I'm here to teach you how to create HVAC ducts using part design and sheet metal in FreeCAD, as well as how to assemble the said duct in A2+. So first, we have to go to part design. Then we have to create a body and create a sketch. Here we can select from three different planes on which, depending on the orientation of the duct. So for simplicity purposes, we will choose the XY plane. Then we have to start by creating a rectangle. I like to constrain the rectangle with the origin so that it will always be symmetrical, and when you try to put it together in A2 plus, the origin is always at the center. So here we can now designate what the length and the width of the duct is. So let's say this is 400. I want this to be the bottom segment of the duct. So let us make it 400. And let's say that the length is around 1500. So this will be our bottom panel in 2D version of our duct. So after pressing close, we will now go to sheet metal, and we have to press this button here, make base wall. So this will create the shape that we had into the sheet metal. You can also adjust the thickness of the wall of the sheet metal by changing parameters here. So now this is our sheet metal. This is our first panel, and now we want to make this the bottom duct. So first, we have to make the bends and the edges that will link this panel to other panels as well as to the other ducts. So we have to press here, make wall. So this will always extend downwards. So if I want to make this facing up, I have to press the bottom edge here. If I want it to face down, I will press the upper edge here. So I will now press this edge since I want it to face up. Another edge. And another edge. So this will be our bottom panel. Again, the parameters can be changed by going here. And for example, you made the mistake that you actually want this to face up. You can always invert it to true. This will make the wall face up. However, I want to keep it at false. And I want to change the length to 30 millimeters. So there we have it. This is now the bottom segment of our duct. Now I will save this as ducting demo, or whatever you want to call it, bottom face. We do not have to create another one from scratch. For example, if the panel is this same length, same width, same dimensions, we can just select, for example, this is the bottom side and we want to create the top side. We can just use the same panel except invert these bends. So what I will do is I will just make everything true, 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 and true. So by doing so, this will now be our top duct. So I will save this and top. As you can see, the bottom duct is still preserved from its original shape. So before I move on to the left and right ducts, we have to, for simplicity purposes, so if you want to create a duct that will create a bill of materials directly afterwards, this is the best way to do it in your workflow. It's after you create your panel, you automatically go to part info and edit your duct here. So for example, ducting demo bottom, and then you can fill out the other parameters here. So we just save by pressing Ctrl S. Now we can close this up. Same thing we do here. Ducting demo top. So what this does is that it allows us to create a parts list if we were to put it together in A2+. So again, Ctrl S, save, back. Now I want to create a new one. So again, we go back to part design, create sketch. Now this will be on this plane or this plane. It just has to be in parallel with your plane. So I'm just gonna choose the XZ plane. I mean in perpendicular. So again, our length was 1,500, and let's say our height is around 300. So again, what I forgot to do was to constrain it in the center. Now that our object is fully constrained, we can now close it. Go to sheet metals and make the baseband. So again, the orientation of this material is around here, like this. And we will make the bends as we did before. So I want this to be the, oh, sorry. I want this to be the left face, left or right face. I will again edit the bends to 30 millimeters in radius. After doing so, I will now save my file. Again, ducting demo. So let's say this is the, if my orientation is correct, left face. I will now go to A2 plus. Again, part info. Ducting demo. Left face. Control S to save. Now, what I will do to make it to make the workflow faster and easier for me, I will just invert this to true. This will enable, and then I will save as again as right face. Yeah, I will go to part info. This will be right. Control S to save. Again, this should be separate in itself. As you can see, this is the left, and we have the right over here. Now I will show you how to assemble this entire uh, duct in A2 plus. So I want you to create a new file, A2 plus, save as ducting demo assembly. You can name it whatever you like. However, I like to name the files as is. So here we have to import the files. So let's get the bottom in, the top, the left, and the right. Now I want everything to be in reference to the bottom face right here. So it has to be on top of every other part here, so that when I try to make things parallel, it is in parallel in reference to the bottom face. So first I will make the parallel, and then using the edges that we made, as you can see here, there's a little bend. This is what we will use in order to make a point constraint in order to join the two panels together. So we repeat with the same process, make it parallel. For these types of ducts, making it parallel is not as necessary. However, when we do transition ducts, it is necessary to make them parallel first before constraining them. Or else FreeCAD will have a hard time figuring out how to solve the object. So the last constraint. So here we have it. This is our duct segment that we were able to create using FreeCAD.